Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is T, and I'm on the marketing team here at Assembly Software. We're super excited to have you here for our session on understanding cash flow challenges in law firms. We have two incredible speakers joining us today, Tess Mulholland, account executive from ADM LawPay, and Jack McManus, our senior product manager here at Assembly Software. They'll be walking you through the biggest cash flow bottlenecks that law firms face, sharing strategies to help you improve collections, reduce delays, and strengthen your firm's financial stability. Yeah, we really appreciate you taking time to join us today. So let's dive right in.
Awesome. Thanks, T. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, my name is Tess Mulholland. I am an account executive here at LawPay. I'm going to dive more into my background here in a second and share more about what we're doing to help firms with their cash flow. But first, I want to pull up a poll, and I think, T, you're going to help do that. But how are you currently accepting payments from your clients right now? Like, are you accepting it via check, cash? Maybe you have some kind of like credit card machine that you have in your office, or maybe like some other kind of online payment form like PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. Yeah, like a little bit, we're kind of like a little bit across the board, it looks like, kind of how we're kind of shaking out lots of checks, ACH payments. Not as many people are accepting cash. Not many people carry cash these days. Perfect, perfect. Now, some people don't don't currently accept like online payments. Yeah, no, I get that. Awesome. Yeah, no, that's really good to know. So, thanks so much for letting us know there. And so again, my name is Tess. I am an account executive here at LawPay, 8 a.m. LawPay. A little bit about my background. I've been at LawPay for 2 years now, but before I came to LawPay, I actually worked at a small law firm that used LawPay as I used it as a customer of LawPay. So I understand how easy it was to accept LawPay and accept those payments from clients. And since coming to LawPay, like working for LawPay, now I can see like all of the problems that a law firms are facing. So a lot of the cash flow problems, the first is like slow payments and cash flow gaps. So I hear this all the time, like firms will be waiting days or weeks, not only to get clients to just pay them in general, like if they're just taking payments via cash or check, they'll actually like even if they do accept these kinds of payments, sometimes it takes several days for the cash to even hit their bank account. So that's one of the first things that we see with a lot of law firms. The second is compliant risk and trust account violations. This is one of the things that keeps a lot of attorneys and admins up at night. They're very concerned about their IOLTA compliance, really nervous about being able to compliantly accept online payments into a trust account. What if extra fees go into the trust? What if something accidentally comes out of the trust? If trust funds accidentally move around, it could constitute like being reprimanded by your state bar. So that's one of the big things that also really concern a lot of firms about that as well. Like number three, client confusion and payment friction. So I see this a lot as well. Clients will hesitate in delaying payments when payment process feels confusing, unprofessional, or insecure. Like if you're asking people to pay you by Zelle, by PayPal, by Venmo, it can feel unprofessional. And they're just like really like, oh my gosh, like what is happening with this law firm? I thought that, I'm paying this law firm thousands and thousands of dollars, and this just doesn't feel very professional to me. But I really want to pay with a credit card. I don't have access to checks. Like I'm gonna have to go to the bank and get cash. We want to make it as easy as possible for your clients to pay you, right? Because that's one of the big things that we find. Let me know in the chat, or I think there's a Q&A box. If you have any questions in the mix, let me know in the Q&A. You can always add your questions in there, and either I'll stop or Jack will stop and we'll get those questions answered for you guys. So you can go ahead and go to the next slide, Jack. So two other problems with their cash flow challenges is limited client payment flexibility. So we see this a lot as well. Like clients really want additional payment flexibility. Either they really need a payment plan, and a lot of clients actually need to take out financing to pay for legal assistance and hiring attorneys, and that's very, very common for that to happen. So clients and or law firms can potentially lose business when clients can't afford large upfront retainers or lump sum invoices. So being able to give your clients flexible options is really going to help bring more cash flow into the fold. And the fifth cash flow challenge or concerns that a lot of firms face is chargeback and trust account risk. So, like, we see this a lot. People are concerned about the chargeback of like someone disputing their fees with their credit card companies, and just concerned that they're going to be on their own if that's ever going to happen. And we'll get more into this here in a second, but trust account, if you don't have a solid payment processor that understands trust compliance and IOLTA compliance, you can definitely be put at risk if you face chargebacks on your trust account. So that's why it's really important to partner with a processor that really understands your needs as a law firm. So what LawPay is really the answer for all of these concerns that law firms face. So the first one is 8 a.m. LawPay delivers next day deposits for all major credit card brands and e-checks. So it's a very quick process in getting your cash, number one. It's built exclusively for law firms to ensure IOLTA and PCI compliance. We are one of the only processors on the market to have this kind of protection for IOLTA accounts. And the really wonderful thing about that is that we are recommended by all 50 state bars, the ABA, and the Canadian State Bar as well. There's a reason LawPay has, been around for a long time. We are the gold standard when it comes to being able to compliantly take payments from your clients. Um, and another cool thing, LawPay creates a professional branded payment experience for your clients. And I'll show you that here on the next page. But the wonderful thing is like you're gonna have a very simple, beautiful checkout page. Uh, it looks just really on brand for you. And it's a great way to give your clients a good experience when paying you. Um, LawPay's later financing is something that a lot of firms have been utilizing. And what's great about that is that a lot of clients are needing and wanting, like I said, flexible payment options and potentially taking out a loan um, for your services or for your large retainers. And the cool thing about the pay later option is it gives your clients that right within your payment checkout experience. And well, the great thing about it is that they can get on either a low or a no APR payment option with smaller payments for them. So it gets them on a more easier, manageable payment plan, but then you get paid up front. So you don't have to take on the risk of providing financing for your clients. And the last thing is 8 a.m. LawPay protects trust accounts from chargebacks and third-party debits. We actually have a whole chargeback team that will have your back when it comes to your chargeback. If you ever do have a chargeback situation, we have an 85% win rate, very high win rate when it comes to your chargeback team. So you know that LawPay has your back if that were ever to happen.
And that's a great point, that third bullet test about the professional and branded payment experience. I would assume that with clients and when they're navigating to that hosted payments page where they can see your firm logo and address and all of your firm details, that creates like much more security and confidence in the payment processing tool that they're using versus just an unfamiliar, unbranded, generalized payment processing tool where they're not fully confident, is this payment going to the right place? So I would assume that that really does help with client confidence.
It definitely does. And I'll say, like, from my previous experience at my previous law firm, I dealt with a lot of bankruptcy clients, family law, and some personal injury as well. And there are many times I would send out these payment links or requests for payment, and I could get payments within a few hours. I would get payments in the middle of the night. I would get payments over the weekend. And so it's a really easy and simple way, and again, it's very professional. So why don't you go to the next slide and I'll show you what that checkout process looks like. So this is one of our beautiful payment pages. So again, you can upload your logo to the top. That will show up at the top left-hand corner, all of your information, and then they can put in, their payment amount, a reference number, and then put in their card e-check, or they can opt for that pay later option with Affirm. Affirm is the provider that powers the pay later option. Affirm is a very known um, provider in the merchant services, like across the web. So people have seen Affirm before, so they understand it. And it's very simple, it's modern, it doesn't look antiquated or strange, and then it says powered by 8 a.m. Law Pay at the bottom of this as well. So it's a very professional way in order to take payments from your clients.
Yeah,
So
that is great about adding the pay later. Was that a recent addition for LawPay, or has that been in product for quite some time?
it's been in place for like I think like a year or so. So
Wow.
it is relatively new. Yeah, but a lot of firms really like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty much what I have, but I'd love to perhaps Jack to explain how this works with Neos because all of you guys are using Neos right now and would love to see like how this actually integrates right into your current system that you're already using.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Tess. So for this, I'll just go through first the benefits of having the payment processing tool, as well as an overview of the integration between Neos and LawPay, and then I'll actually pull up Neos and go through a brief demo of how this works within the software. So with the LawPay and Neos integration, you have the ability to send links to that branded payment portal that Tess was showing previously, along with your invoices and trust requests directly from Neos. It's a pretty seamless process. And what's really nice is one, that you're not needing to go from one system to another and copy information from one system to another. It's all an automated, integrated workflow that really helps to boost efficiency of your firm and your staff as you're going through the billing process and accepting payments. Um, as far as the overarching advantages, I'd say that there's really three key ones. Kind of touched on those just in the brief explanation at the beginning, but those advantages are one, accuracy. So when you share an invoice or a trust request from Neos, that email is going to go to the individual. They're going to see the option to view the bill and pay it. And then once they make that payment record will be synced automatically back to Neos, and it will reconcile the individual financial records and invoices so that you do not need to manually update those, which obviously could lead to mistakes. The second advantage and benefit really is the efficiency that's gained through this automated payment processing, not only with what Tess was explaining, with getting payments faster and more efficient for your clients, but also more efficient for your staff, in that there isn't the need to enter payment details and transaction details in multiple locations and navigate back and forth between two different systems. And then the last part is security. It is difficult and sometimes inaccurate and unsecure to bring financial details that are sensitive and have to copy and paste those or have to go back and forth between your payment processing and your case manager and then back and forth all day long. So it's a much more secure process, and it's definitely recommended to have integrated systems that automate this payment processing, payment acceptance workflow. Um, and then the other part in terms of the benefit is that Neos has pretty robust reporting and automations workflows within the product. And so when these payment transaction details come back from your clients and them entering their payment details and actually paying you, you will be able to use that financial data for the purposes of creating reports, creating dashboards, some of which are shown here, and I can show some in Neos. And you can monitor things like the remaining balances within cases, or the case types that have outstanding due amounts, or the individual staff that are the primary attorneys on cases that have large remaining due amounts. And then also, lastly, I'll show some of the ways in which some embedded AI features can actually help boost efficiency even more within this workflow. So let me pull up Neos here, and I can just dive right in. All right, so first off, well, actually, I'll just go to this here. Here's an example of a dashboard I just created before this. You could definitely get more robust and more complex with these dashboards, but these are just a couple simple examples where you could see and this is by case type, the due amount remaining within each case type, and then you can navigate into individual cases. You can view this report, see all of those cases participating in the due sum amount for those case types. You can also see the due amount or the number of cases that still have due amounts by staff and group those. Then you can audit the individuals and look into those outstanding due amounts and understand what still needs to be paid. So really important, yet simple and easy to use reporting and dashboarding functionality built into Neos that really helps with this automated payment processing workflow. And then as far as the setup for LawPay and the integration, so if you navigate to the integrations page, there's a bunch of different integrations here, but if you scroll down to LawPay, there's the option to either sign into an existing account if you already have a LawPay account, or create an account. And this will bring you to a workflow where you can submit an application. There's some details required, and I believe that LawPay will reach out to finalize the processing of your application after you submit this. But there is a link to do so within Neos. And then once you have that account all set up, then you can go through the process of signing in. And I'll just sign in here. And then you can just sign in directly within Neos to your LawPay account, and that will really enable this workflow. Let me just reload the page so that that login is successful. All right, and then so what I was mentioning in terms of the ways to add financial records to Neos, you could do so certainly manually. Where you could add value records that then would participate within an invoice, and then you could raise that and send that out to your client. What I was mentioning also is that with some embedded AI functionality, there is further ways to automate this process where you can add either invoices or bills directly to the value tab, and then select to upload. And that will take, depending on the document size, anywhere from like 15 to 30 seconds. And what's going to happen is there's going to be an OCR and AI analysis process where it's going to pull out all of the line items within your bills or invoices and then actually assign them to financial records within Neos. You make some additional selections, apply, and then you can save those right to the case. Again, further automation, leveraging this AI analysis tool to minimize the manual data entry that is extremely time consuming, monotonous, as well as it can be inaccurate if you're having to manually do this consistently. Then once those value records are included within the case, you can go ahead and create an invoice from those. And then there is a submission and approval process that's based on user permissions. And once that invoice is approved, then you're able to send it out with LawPay, and then you can select recipients. Select the deposit account. You can copy other individuals on the case and then send this out through Neos. And that will just take a few seconds for the email to process and send out. Email sent successfully. Let me bring up my Outlook here. I should get this email shortly. And that email will contain the link to pay the invoice as well as an actual PDF download option. Let me just pull this up here. I just received it. And so you can see this is our branding. You have the address, and this is all coming from partially LawPay and what you set up in terms of the payment portal itself, as well as some options within Neos to modify the email format. So then you can just select View, Bill, and Pay, and that's going to bring you to your hosted branded payment portal. Select your outstanding bill. If there are multiple bills, you can view all of those with outstanding balances and pay them all at one time, or just individuals. And then you would select payment methods. And I will not pay this at this moment. However, this is the workflow to do so. And then once that payment is processed and made, then it will modify the due amount down to zero, populate the payment amount for that invoice to the total amount paid by that client, and then also modify for each of these value records the due amount down to zero. There'll be transactions created within the individual records to show what has been paid by the client. And then all of those records are available for reporting purposes and dashboarding purposes that you can use in the future. So it's all one nice integrated flow. You're not needing to go outside of Neos or your case management tool to actually raise those invoices and request payments and send links to your clients to actually pay using that portal. So a really nice efficient flow, significantly more secure, more accurate than having to go to different systems or send out checks and a much quicker process. All right. I think that was all that I had. I think we can go back to the slide deck here. And was there one additional poll?
Yeah, I think we're doing one more poll. And would you like learning more? Would you like to learn more and get started getting your 8 a.m. LawPay account approved? And what's cool about it is that it actually doesn't cost you anything to get started and get this integrated into your current system. There's no contracts, there's no startup costs, there's no cancellation fees. So it's not something that that's going to cost you a whole lot. And we also have on the next slide, if you want to go to that one, Jack, if you scan that here, if you want to connect with me directly, I can actually get you no monthly fee for the next year. touch really quick on what the fees look like when it comes to LawPay. So our normal monthly fee is $19 a month, but we are waiving that for a full year for Neos customers. So if you want to get on that, you can give it a shot, give it a try at no cost to you. The only fees that you need to be aware of are transaction fees. So this is only when you actually are going to be taking payments, or when these are going to be kicking in. So for Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, the transaction fee is 2.99% plus 30 cents per transaction. Amex is at 3.9% per with 30 cents per transaction. E-checks or ACH transfers, those process at 1%. And the pay later option, if you're wanting to offer that financing, that processes at 4.95%. So it is a little higher, but some firms still like to offer it to be able to help close more clients and get those um, cases started. So those are our fee structure. But if you scan there, that actually takes you directly to my calendar. So if you want to book time with me, I can add this 12-month promo into your account. I have to add it in on the back end, so you'll need to connect with me directly in order to do that. But yeah, I can get that done for you, and we would be able to get that all set up so you can start taking payments and make it nice and simple because we now integrate wonderfully with Neos and they're a great partner with us. So we love working with them. So awesome. I don't think there's any questions, no open questions. So yes, definitely scan there. You can connect with me. And I can either just send you more info or we can actually just have a quick chat and we can discuss it more in depth. Awesome.
Great.
Cool. Do we have anything else you'd like to add, Jack?
No, I think that's really great that there's this promotional offer. Definitely, if you're interested, take advantage. Quite a great offer, certainly.
Yeah, definitely. Give it a shot. See if it's going to be a good fit for you. I know I loved it at my previous firm, and there's a reason why we're the trusted payment solution across the whole North America. So it's a good partnership. So
Yeah, great.
great. Well, we're right on the dot at 12:30. So grateful to have every single one of you here. Please connect with me if you want more info. If you want to go ahead and get your LawPay account set up for free, I can help get that done for you. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, and a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday with your families.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
all.
Jack. Thanks, T.